Hi guys, welcome to the new video. Want to master the fighter role in Mobile Legends? This video will teach you everything you need to know to win your lane, dominate fights, and climb rank faster. Watch till the end for mistakes most fighter players make. You'll also see my mistakes in this video, so you know what not to do. The first and most important thing for ranked games, especially if you're epic rank and above, is the draft pick. Once you reach epic, you're no longer in blind pick. You're playing draft, and this stage of banning and selecting heroes can literally decide the match before it even starts. Most players don't think too much during the banning phase. They just ban meta heroes that they see on YouTube or tier lists. Now, I'm not saying this is completely wrong, but in Epic and Legend rank, this strategy usually doesn't help much. Meta bans are very useful in Mythic rank, because players there actually know how to use those heroes properly. But in low-rank matches, many of those meta heroes are rarely played or not even mastered, so banning them doesn't really give you an advantage. So the real question is, who should you ban? What I usually do in draft pick is one of two things. I ban a counter hero to the hero I'm planning to pick. Second, I ban a hero that I predict the enemy team is going to pick. Here's a simple example. If the enemy team is banning Diggy, there's a very high chance they're planning to pick heavy crowd control tanks like Tigreal or Atlas. So instead of ignoring that information, I use it, and I ban Tigreal or Atlas myself. Draft pick is not random. You can actually predict enemy picks just by looking at their bans. If you're the first one to ban, look at what heroes your teammates are hovering or planning to play. You can either ban the counter heroes to your teammates' picks, or you can ban the hero that counters the fighter you're about to use. Winning ranked games isn't just about mechanics. If you learn how to think properly during draft pick, especially as a fighter player, you'll already have an advantage before the match even starts. Now, after banning heroes, it's time for the hero pick phase. And remember, this is solo rank. Sometimes you get an amazing team. Sometimes you get players who completely throw the game. So as a fighter, you must pick a hero that can increase your chances of winning, even in difficult situations. Of course, you won't win every single game. That's impossible. But if you pick the right fighter according to your team and the enemy draft, you can maximize your win rate. One thing you must remember, the fighter role is one of the most versatile roles in Mobile Legends. Some fighters are great at pure damage, like Thamuz or Benedetta. Some fighters are amazing at crowd control, like Ruby or Mythic. And then there are fighters like Terizla or Uranus, who are tanky, deal good damage, and can frontline for the team. So the question is not who is the best fighter. The real question is, who is the best fighter for this situation? Before locking your hero, always look at both drafts, your team and the enemy team. For example, in this match, my teammate picked Carmilla as the tank, and the enemy team picked Beleric. If we compare both, Beleric is clearly the stronger frontline tank. So instead of picking a full damage fighter, I chose a semi-tank fighter like Phoveus, someone who can survive, frontline, and still deal good damage. If you also look carefully, the enemy team has only one strong crowd control hero, which is Beleric. The enemy mid laner is Kimmy, who doesn't have reliable crowd control. Even if Beleric uses all his skills on me, it's not a problem. I can literally spam Phoveus's ultimate in team fights and keep pressuring the enemy. Other good choices here would be Terizla or Lapu Lapu, but I'm more comfortable with Phoveus, so I picked him. Now, this example was when I was the last pick in draft rank. But what if you're the first pick? If you're first pick, you can either choose based on what your teammates are hovering, or you can pick a safe, versatile fighter. That's why heroes like Phoveus are so strong in solo rank. He's a semi-tank, he deals good damage, and even if your teammates pick heroes like Badang or Kalea as roamer, you can still balance the team. If you need a good crowd control hero, then go for Ruby or Mythic. Always remember, your goal in ranked games is to maximize your chances of winning. Don't pick a hero just because you like it. Don't pick a hero just because you're good at it. Pick your fighter based on what your team needs, what the enemy has picked, and what will help you win the game. Now everyone has locked their heroes. So what's the last thing you need to do before the match starts? Check your battle spell. Like I mentioned in my previous video, except for the jungler, Your spell should always depend on the enemy heroes, not on habit and not on copied builds. Many players just copy a pro player build and use the same spell every game. This is a big mistake. If there's even one good player on the enemy team using a crowd control hero, your game can literally end in 10 minutes because good players will punish you again and again. For example, let's say enemy ban Diggy and picks Atlas. If you really understand the game, your spell here should be Purify. Why? Because Purify can completely cancel Atlas's ultimate and make him almost useless in team fights. The same thing applies to Tigreal's ultimate. One correct spell choice can change the entire fight. Here's another example. If the enemy team has Saber and you're playing Marksman or Mage, picking Aegis is a smart choice. Saber's ultimate becomes almost useless, and you survive what would normally be a guaranteed death. You can even choose your spell to counter the enemy fighter, not just tanks or assassins. Remember, even though it's just a spell, it can have a huge impact on your game. So don't pick spells blindly. Don't copy builds without thinking. Always choose your battle spell based on enemy heroes, crowd control, and threats, because smart spell choices win games. Now, everything we discussed so far happens before the game even starts. Remember, these things are just a setup to increase your chances of winning. They give you an advantage, but they don't win the game for you. The most important thing in Mobile Legends is still your gameplay. If your gameplay is bad, then there's no meaning to banning, drafting, or picking the perfect spell. Good decisions before the match help, but good gameplay decides the result. So now, I'm going to show you how I personally play the fighter role and the most important things you must pay attention to once the match starts. These are the habits, decisions, and small details that help fighters control the EXP lane, impact team fights, and carry games consistently. Watch carefully, because this is where most fighter players make mistakes. Now, in Epic and Legend rank, one common problem you'll face is this: the roamer rarely helps the EXP lane. Most of the time, the tank sticks to gold lane or mid, and you're treated like the EXP lane doesn't even exist. And honestly, I still face this problem even in Mythic rank. So what should you do? The very first thing is to check the enemy fighter and ask yourself one question. Can I win this 1v1 or not? If you can win, that's great. You can play confidently, but if you can't win, then don't force fights. If you're at a disadvantage, your goal is simple. Play safe and reach level 4 before the first turtle spawns. Remember, Mobile Legends is a 5v5 game, not a solo game. If you're losing the lane matchup, wait for your allies. Even if the tank doesn't help you, there's still the mage and assassin who can rotate. Your playstyle should always depend on your teammates. If your team is rotating properly and supporting you, you can play aggressive. But if they're not helping at all, then you must play defensive and safe. Some players start fighting from level 1, keep dying, and then blame the team. Don't do that. You're just feeding and giving momentum to the enemy. There's nothing wrong with defending your turret, clearing waves, and waiting for your chance. Level up, stay alive, and wait for a mistake from the enemy. In this match, you can see the enemy tank stays in the gold lane, even after the first turtle spawns. We easily kill Alucard, secure the turtle, and after that the enemy tank goes back to bottom lane, without even protecting his teammates. What did he achieve by doing this? We kill Leomord, Kimmy, and Alucard again, steal the red buff, and he's still alone defending gold lane, even though tower protection exists for the first 5 minutes. And believe it or not, this is Mythic rank. That one mistake gave us complete momentum, and once you have momentum, the game becomes much easier. Now, after we slay the turtle, you'll see Leomord and Kimmy come to attack me in the EXP lane. I didn't notice Kimmy at first. Because everyone was fighting at the bottom side, I assumed Kimmy would rotate there. Instead, she rotated top with Leomord to try and kill me. And honestly, this is actually a good strategy from the enemy. But like I mentioned earlier, Kimmy doesn't have strong crowd control. Because of that, I was able to kill Kimmy, and I would have also killed Leomord if Alucard hadn't jumped in at the last moment. Yes, I died here. But this death still benefited our team. Here's why. First, my teammates were already pushing the bottom lane, where the next turtle was about to spawn. That gave us full control of the bottom side of the map. Second, I killed Kimmy, which means she couldn't push mid or rotate to help her team. At the same time, Alucard and Leomord were stuck top lane with me. That left the enemy tank completely alone. My team punished that immediately. They pushed and destroyed the tower, secured the second turtle, and Leomord still couldn't even destroy my EXP tower. So look at the trade carefully. They killed one hero, me. We killed 3 enemies, secured a turtle, and gained map control on the bottom side. Even though I didn't join the fight at bottom lane, my gameplay still had a massive impact on the match. A lot of players think, my team isn't helping me, so I'll just play however I want. That mindset throws games. Remember, every play in Mobile Legends is connected. If you play well, it helps your team. If you play badly, it hurts your entire team. As a fighter, your job is not just to kill enemies. It's to create pressure, force rotations, and open opportunities for your team. That's how you win games, even in solo rank. Now, one of the most common mistakes I see in ranked games is this: fighters never leave their EXP lane. A lot of players just stay there, clear waves, and only protect that one lane. If you're doing this as a fighter, you're wasting the role's true potential. As a fighter, you should always look for chances to rotate. Try to ambush mid lane or invade the enemy jungle when it's safe. Your job is not just to hold EXP lane, it's to create pressure across the map. For example, when I play Phoveus, I almost always pressure mid lane or join team fights. That's because Phoveus shines in team fights. He's not good at farming, so instead of wasting time on jungle camps, I prioritize fights and rotations. But if you're playing a hero like Dyroth, it's different. You can farm efficiently and also look for 1v1 ambushes. That's why understanding your fighter's strengths is so important. In this clip, I'm not even looking for kills. I'm giving my team vision of the enemy, and I'm absorbing damage because our tank is not stepping forward. This creates space for my teammates to play freely. This is exactly why hero selection in the fighter role matters. If I had picked a different fighter here, it would have been much harder for me to do this. Some fighters are meant to frontline and pressure, others are meant to farm and duel. If you're playing fighter and you never leave EXP lane, you're playing the role wrong. Rotate, pressure, and force reactions, that's how fighters carry games without even getting kills. Now, in this clip, you can see the enemy team goes for the Lord. Yes, they get the Lord, but right after that, they get completely wiped out by us. And this is exactly why I always say, before going for Lord, you must secure a numbers advantage. Ideally, you should either kill 2 to 3 enemy heroes or kill the enemy jungler first. That way, your jungler can take Lord safely without the risk of a steal. If you start Lord without doing this, there's a high chance the enemy jungler will either steal the Lord or your entire team will get wiped out. In this match, even though the enemy team got Lord, what did they gain? Nothing. They lost the fight, we pushed the lanes, and their Lord was completely useless. Now here's another mistake that happens way too often. After we slay the Lord, my teammates immediately start fighting the enemy. 3 of my teammates die, and our Lord gets wasted. After taking Lord, don't rush into fights. Wait for the Lord to push the lane first. Remember, the enemy has to defend the Lord while also dealing with you. That's when you fight. Don't jump in alone. Don't force unnecessary fights. Even if you die with the Lord pushing, at least you've broken towers and pressured lanes. But if you die before the Lord even reaches the lane, you're just giving the enemy free time to defend. Now at the end of the match, you can see we secure the 3rd Lord. But this time, we don't rush. We wait for the Lord to push, we play safe, and we keep pressuring the enemy without forcing any fight. Because we're patient, the enemy tank makes a mistake. He steps out alone and his teammates don't follow up. So this is how I play the fighter role in Mobile Legends. It's not about getting the most kills. It's about making the right decisions from draft pick to the final push. If you understand drafting, pick the right fighter, choose the correct spell, rotate smartly, and play patiently around objectives. You'll start winning more games consistently, even in solo rank. Remember, every move you make impacts your team. Play smart, punish mistakes, and don't throw games by rushing. If this video helped you, make sure to like it, subscribe to the channel for more MLBB guides and gameplay breakdowns, and comment below which fighter you want me to cover next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Attack! Attack the Lord! Attack the Lord!
No escape! Regrets for the weak. I will bear my sins to the grave.
Lord Slayer! Request backup!
Face me! Are these chains comfortable?
Initiate retreat!
Asteros? No escape!
Request backup! Launch attack!
Face me! I'll grind you to dust. No escape! No escape! As long as I stand, the board will
Your
never
team destroyed a turret!
no escape! Face me! Death awaits! Nothing escapes my gaze! Meet your end!
An enemy has been slain!
Madness echoes in darkness. Death awaits! Meet your end!
An ally has been slain. Killing spree! Double kill! Triple kill! Shut down! Your team destroyed a turret!